All right, y'all. Hey, PM Kester here, and I am back again. Hopefully, the sun stays on our side. I am here to talk about coffee. That's right, I am going to talk about my break-taking coffee essentials. So, before we get into it, make sure you go and get your drink of choice for whenever you're watching this video. And let's get on up in here. Okay, so coffee, where do I begin? So coffee was one of those things that I actually did not really care for until later in life. Going back to my first 7 p.m. to 7 a job, that night graveyard shift type job. I drank coffee to stay awake. Coffee, Mountain Dews, Coca-Cola, because of the caffeine content. I hated drinking coffee on the night shift then. I thought it was gross. And that's because I didn't have like an appreciation and an affinity for the taste of it. Then as I started going and getting more involved in the world, and it seemed like coffee was everywhere. The freaking K-Cups came out, that dang on Keurig. Starbucks on every corner. And so, you get that 9 to 5 job, you going into the office, what you do, y'all go on a coffee break. Keyword here, break. Again, another example of how breaks are not just for rest. You can take a break for lunch, you can take a break for dinner, you can take a break for coffee. So this is one of the breaks that after a while I started to indulge on. That morning call, that afternoon call, hey, you wanna go take a coffee break? Walk to Starbucks. And I always kind of knew that Starbucks was like not my favorite thing. I would find other things after a while to get, because I was still kind of finding my way with coffee. And then, just like if you saw the 42 questions video where I talk about how I started to know more about alcohol and things like that during the pandemic, the same thing happened with coffee. In that time where we were supposed to be quarantining and stuff like that, I was learning more, doing online classes and things like that with alcohol. I also did some things like that similar to coffee. So I learned that I am more a medium roast person. I don't like the light roast because I think that tastes a little bit too weak. Some darks I don't like because I think they're too bitter, and that medium roast is just right. I also have a tendency to go towards some Italian roast. My favorite coffee that I drink right now, and it's not one of my essentials down here because I don't have the bag, but I will list it in the notes, is Lavazza. And it was something that was gifted to me as like a wedding shower gift. The person worked at Lavazza in New York at the time and gave everybody like these little gift bags with these little bags of Lavazza in it. And I was like, this coffee tastes pretty good. And Lavazza is not, they source their beans from other places, so it's not all exactly Italian, but just putting it all out there. That's what I know. That's what I know. Okay, but first thing first. So one thing, you start with your coffee. What are some essentials for me? So for me, my first essential I'm going to talk about is a quality creamer, and for me, it is a non-dairy creamer. I right now am playing around with the Silk almond creamer. This is in creme brulee. I love this. My go-to creamers used to be oat milk, and I started looking at the sugar content in oat, and so I'm now experimenting with some almonds. I have not found a lot of almond milk creamers that I necessarily like, but kept seeing this on social media, and they was right. Now, why non-dairy for me? Because also during the freaking pandemic, I started doing a lot of work on my nutrition and trying to figure out why my body reacted to certain things, like my cholesterol issues and stuff were going up. I was, just noticed some things with asthma triggers and stuff like that. And one of the issues that once I started documenting the food I was eating and how I felt after I ate certain foods, dairy was an issue, especially the dairy in the coffee. It was a reason why I wasn't tolerating coffee well. So I have been doing non-dairy creamer. But like I said, this is the Silk almond creamer. And I think that having a good creamer is essential to your coffee. If I did not have this, I would use a regular almond milk or an oat milk. And I would use my next essential, which is the Torani syrup. My favorite is hazelnut. I don't have the hazelnut up here with me because I'm out, because I run through it. I mix like about 1 to 2 tablespoons of the hazelnut creamer, of the hazelnut syrup with a regular oat milk or a regular almond milk. And y'all, Starbucks ain't got nothing on me. That's all I'm gonna say. But I think that if you have a good creamer or a good milk, your milk of choice, and one of these, like the syrup, like when you go into a lot of your coffee shops, this is what they're using. So not only are you saving money and time, you're giving yourself an experience of home. And I will say that is one of the things I like about having things like this on hand at my house, is that my coffee break is just this recentering part of my day. I get up, I exercise, I drink a cup of water first or something like that, or hot water with lemon. And then I have this time where I make my coffee, and there's like all these steps and things to it, but it relaxes me, it calms me down. So I like having to mix up kind of like my non-dairy creamer and my syrup. And this, the Torani, you can order off of Amazon. If you also have, was it Cost Plus World Market? I did not know there were so many different flavors of Torani, and I went into the World Market in Atlanta, and it's like a whole freaking wall, and this flavor is I never knew existed. So you can literally just make some of everything at your house, which I think is just so great. It's great to have those breaks where you can just experiment. I don't know if y'all like me, but that's what I like to do. Another coffee essential for me is a French press. This is very well used. I think I need to probably upgrade and get like another, because I have used this French press into the ground. But a French press, like I said, I started with the Keurig, and another thing I discovered is that I did not, after a while, I felt like the Keurig, the coffee I was getting was too watery. It like was losing its strength, which was taken away from the experience. And so with this, I feel like you do get a stronger brew with the French press, but there is something about the ritual of making coffee in the French press. And you probably saw it on the video leading into this conversation where I was showing you like all the tools and I was making a cup of coffee. the part where you have to measure out with your big spoon, your tablespoon, you measure out your coffee. You add in the hot water from your tea kettle. So that means, like, for me, I put it on the stove, or you could have like the actual electric kettle or whatever. So it's all that stuff is like heating, and that's kind of like, for me, is allowing me to take some breaths, calm down, listen to the news, listen to music, and just kind of get myself ready for my day while all of that is going on. I pour in the hot water. I allow the coffee to brew for like 5 minutes. In the time that it's brewing or whatever and getting ready for me, that's when I'm putting my creamer in the cup, or I'm doing like my syrup and mixing up things. But it's giving me like a routine that puts me on track for my day. It really is a break. It's a break. And another essential, the last essential that goes with it, so like I said, if you don't have like an actual creamer and you want to use your milk of choice, non-dairy milk over here, and your syrup, I like to mix it together, my syrup and my non-dairy creamer, with this frother. I know, right? And there'll be links for all the stuff I can find. I like the experience. I think it just really adds a little something extra, makes me feel a little fancy, because you can do all types of stuff. You can pour, you can do it in a separate bowl and pour it in and do all types of little neat things. You can use this to kind of make little cute things when you do your iced coffee. There's like all sorts of like Pinterest and videos and stuff like this, and it's really inexpensive, but it's just something, it just adds to my coffee break. And so I do all of this. There is the ritual, the routine of making the coffee, and then of course the piece of sitting down and enjoying my coffee. And I think that's part of the break as well, to kind of don't walk around the house and be sipping your coffee and looking at people and talking to folks on the phone. I try to use that time now. I'm being more intentional about sitting with my coffee and enjoying my breakfast or whatever I choose to go with my coffee. And I like watch the news. I listen to the news on my Alexa, or I'm reading the news on my phone. And I'm taking that 5 to 10 minutes, whatever that time, to actually sit and enjoy that coffee break. Let me know how you do coffee, type of coffee you use, type of creamers you like. Is there an essential you thought I should have included? Put that in the comments below. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this video to help me grow, help me get eyes on this. Let me know what you think. Different topics you want me to cover for breaks. I would love to hear about it. Until next time, find a little time to take a break. Bye.